Liquid AI just dropped a 2.6 billion parameter model called LFM2.5 6B that runs a full agent on your laptop with no cloud bill. It beats models 4 times its size at the 2 jobs agents actually do. If you are paying OpenAI or Anthropic a per user token bill for tool calls or data extraction, the moat under that bill just cracked open. Local models stopped being a hobby this morning. They are now a pricing event. I am going to show you what moves off the meter this week, what stays on Claude, the receipt I pulled 15 minutes before I sat down to record, and the SaaS category that lost its pricing story overnight without noticing yet, and the window before the giants react. Here is what makes this weird. For 2 years, every conversation about running AI locally ended the same way. Not yet, wait 6 months. The model is dumb, the hardware is not there. All 3 excuses died today at 113 tokens per second on an AMD chip that costs less than a used car. And the payoff nobody saw coming is not the speed, it is not the memory footprint, it is which category of SaaS company just lost its pricing story overnight. I am walking you through the numbers, the demo, the jobs it does not, and the moat that started leaking this morning. First, what actually shipped? LFM 2.52, 6B is 2.6 billion parameters, which is small. For scale, GPT-4 sits closer to 1 trillion. But Liquid trained this model to live inside agent harnesses from day one, and the benchmark numbers land in the same neighborhood as rivals 3 to 4 times its size on the 2 things a business agent has to do reliably. Instruction following, tool use. Instruction following is the model doing what you told it to do in the order you said, without wandering off. Tool use is the model deciding to call your database, your Stripe account, or your email system on its own. Both categories are the workloads every AI feature in every SaaS product actually runs. Not raw creativity, not novel research, instruction following, tool calls, and a 2.6 billion parameter model just topped every instruction following benchmark in Liquid's comparison table against Qwen at 9.7 billion parameters. 9.7 billion means a model roughly 4 times bigger, running on hardware roughly 4 times more expensive. The entire comparison lives on hardware you already own. Under 2.5 gigabytes of memory, my phone has 12, your laptop probably has 32. 47,000 people downloaded the weights in the first 2 hours after release. Not a hobby project, developer adoption at speed. And the context window sits at 128,000 tokens, which is a whole customer contract held in memory at once, a full stack of onboarding forms, a quarter of paperwork for 1 client. The coding numbers are the one place the size gap still matters. 59 on live code bench versus almost 70 for the bigger Qwen. If your feature writes production code for customers, keep paying Claude. Everything else agentic just moved onto the table. Now the number that decides whether you care. Every SaaS product with an AI feature has the same invoice problem. You pay OpenAI or Anthropic per token, your customer pays you a flat monthly fee. The gap between those 2 is your margin, and it shrinks the harder your customers use the product. I ran the receipt 15 minutes before recording. A small SaaS batch, 1 million input tokens and 200,000 output tokens a day. On Claude Sonnet 4, $6 a day, $180 a month. On LFM 2.52, 6B running on your own machine, the same batch costs you electricity, full stop. I pulled the weights myself, no API key, no auth token, no login, 1600 megabytes of file on my box, mine now. The script I ran priced Claude against local for the exact same workload. Local reads 0. $180 a month sounds cute until you multiply by every AI-heavy customer on your books. Run a 500 customer SaaS, with half of them hitting the meter, and that is $45,000 a month you are handing to Anthropic. Now optional. Different owner, same maths. Your customer does not care where the intelligence came from, as long as the feature works. Your board cares about the margin you just clawed back. Your competitor cares that you can now price under them and still make money. Picture the math on a real product. A meeting notes tool with 10,000 daily active users, each triggering 1 summarization call. On Claude that is roughly $60 a day gone before rent, $1,800 a month, $22,000 a year. Locally it costs the price of a VPS. Now imagine your competitor moves first. Here is the ranked list I would run tomorrow if I owned a business with an AI feature in production. Off the meter this week, any extraction job. Invoices, resumes, structured fields from PDF contracts, LFM2.5. 6B handles the whole category at CPU speed and never needs a cloud round trip. Off the meter this week, tool calling agents that decide which of your own systems to poke. Book the meeting, update the CRM, send the follow-up email, all pattern matching decisions, and the benchmark table says a 2.6 billion parameter model wins them against rivals 4 times bigger. Off the meter this week, chatbots that answer questions from your own knowledge base, support triage, new user walkthroughs, first-line ticket routing, all of it now runs on a device without a per-message bill. Still Claude's job for now, anything where a customer needs a smart answer to a novel problem. Legal reasoning, complex code generation, multi-hop research where the model holds 30 facts at once and cross-references them. The gap is real and the benchmarks show it. Do not move those jobs off the meter because your ops cost will drop and your quality will drop harder. The mistake I would not make. Assume this replaces the smart model entirely. It does not. It replaces the boring, high-volume jobs your smart model was overqualified to run and overpriced for. The boring workloads are where the money hides in your invoice. Hybrid stack, local for the volume, Claude for the hard questions. The decision changes your whole cost structure. Local for the 90% of calls that are boring, cloud for the 10% that need a brain, same product, 1/20th the bill. How you actually ship this. 3 options in ascending order of effort. 1. Open the browser demo on the Liquid AI Hugging Face page and run the agent inside a Chrome tab with your Wi-Fi off. Free proof it works, 5 minutes of your afternoon. 2. Your developer pulls the weights on a laptop with llama.cpp, the standard local runtime, and you have a working agent on a $1,500 machine by end of day. 3. For a real customer-facing deployment, rent a $40 a month VPS with 16 gigabytes of RAM, drop the model on it, and point your product at that URL instead of the Anthropic API. Hetzner, DigitalOcean, whichever VPS provider your developer already uses. No new vendor relationship to open, under an afternoon of work, and your data never leaves the box. Anyone shipping this week takes option 3. Open the LFM2.5 Edge Research Agent demo on Hugging Face yourself right now. Turn your Wi-Fi off after the page loads. Ask it to research something with a tool call. Watch the token stream from your laptop with the network unplugged. That is the proof, not me telling you. Here is the payoff I promised. Every SaaS company whose pricing card reads 10 cents per document or $20 per 1,000 queries built that number on top of an OpenAI invoice they assumed their competitors also had to pay. Categories worth naming out loud: legal document review, resume screening, sales email drafting, invoice extraction, customer support routing, meeting summarization. Every one of those verticals has at least one $200 million company sitting on top of a per token bill. Their pricing is a markup on cost. When the cost drops to 0 for a competitor willing to run local, the markup gets exposed. Not next year, right now. The playbook writes itself. Cut your per user cost by 90%, pass half to the customer as lower price, keep half as expanded margin, and outrun the incumbent on both sides of the P and L. The customers do not care whether the intelligence came from Anthropic or a box in a Frankfurt data center. Only the invoice cares. The window is short. Existing customers will not switch on price alone. Sunk cost is real. But every new sign-up between now and the moment the incumbents fold local inference into their own stack will hear a cheaper number from a smaller competitor. If you are the smaller competitor, this is your window. 6 to 12 weeks before the giants react in code. If you are the incumbent, the clock started this morning. Rebuild your pricing card around outcomes, not per token cost, or the small competitor eats your lunch by Christmas. If you want the running list I keep of exactly which AI jobs move to local this month, which ones stay on Claude, the deployment playbook for the $40 VPS setup, and the extraction prompts I run inside my own agency, all of it lives inside the Church of SEO Jesus. It is my free school community for the operators who want the exact playbook before their competitors even know the release happened, so you get the window, free to join, link in the description and pinned comment. And the next release nobody is talking about yet is a bigger pricing event than this one. Watch that video next.